Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be another in my Western Mountaineering sleeping bag field test series. Now so far in this series I haven't done very well as far as picking the right nights. I try to pick nights that are as close to the rating of the bag as possible. In all my field tests so far, the temperature has been below the rating of the bag. So the bag model that I'm going to be sleeping in tonight is the Bristlecone. Now this is the most recent bag from Western Mountaineering that I purchased. I've only owned this for a couple of years. I've probably slept maybe 12 nights in it is all. When I got this bag I weighed it and it weighed 3 ounces more than what they said a 6'6" Bristlecone is supposed to weigh. And so I sent it back to them and asked them to put another 5-ounce overfill into it, and they came back 8 ounces heavier. So this bag is really well stuffed. So the forecast low for tonight is -8 Fahrenheit. It's already -5 out there right now. The Bristlecone is rated to -10 degrees Fahrenheit, -23 degrees Celsius. So tonight, the field is going to be my back patio. Even if I drove an hour up into the mountains, I don't think it'll be quite as cold up there as it is right where I'm at. Now, I'm up against the foothills away from town, so it usually tends to be a couple degrees colder up here. But I'm super excited about this. I've taken this down to 15 below and it was warm. That's what I remember. So we're going to try it out tonight and see if it still keeps me warm. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there was 2 nights in a row shortly after I bought this bag where the first night it was 10 below and I got 3 inches of snow on me. The bag did wet out a little bit around the perimeter. Tonight it's not going to snow, it's clear skies. So all I'm going to do is wear my standard Expedition base layer, top and bottom. I got 1 pair of Expedition merino wool socks. I'm going to wear these down socks here. I'm going to wear this Expedition weight wool cap. And for some reason, the last 2 double-digit negative nights, 10 below and 15 below, that I slept in. I mean, the first night at 10 below, I started out with a downfill balaclava on, and I had to take it off because it was just too warm. Now, I've shared before that I don't really use the hood of my sleeping bag traditionally. I don't cinch it up around my face because I'm a side sleeper, and especially in a bag this big, I turn within the bag. And if that hood is cinched up around my face, when I turn to the side, I can't breathe because I got my head in a face full of nylon and down. So my remedy for that is I use the neck collar. Definitely use the neck collar so the drafts don't go down into the bag. But I keep my face warm with wool balaclavas, wool caps, and down balaclavas. Now tonight, I'm going to try wearing this one. This is a really nice down balaclava from a company called War Bonnet. This is called the Bad Weather Bonnet. It's a baffled downfill balaclava, so there's no sewn through seams on this, no cold spots. I'm going to take that out there with me, and I'll put it on if I feel like I need it, or maybe I'll start with it on and take it off and not put it back on. We'll just have to see. So I'm going to take this out there with me. I'm going to have my down socks on. Once again, merino wool, Expedition weight top and bottom, Expedition weight merino wool socks, Expedition weight merino wool cap. You know, I just don't think I'm going to need this. Hang on a second. Yeah, so for some reason, I just couldn't handle wearing this even at 15 below. But I did have this on. It's a merino wool balaclava. It actually has its own built-in neck gaiter. So I am going to switch to this and this cap. And I will take this out there with me. Maybe. Anyways, this is my pillow setup. I got a 5.5 ouncer and a 2.5 ouncer, and I just shoved this one in there. That gives me all the pillow I need and more. The bag's stated loft is 8.5 inches. After overfill, this one here is 10.5 inches thick. I mean, it really is all the way across, at least 10.5 inches thick. Not afraid of it not keeping me warm tonight, even if it gets crazy cold, which I don't think it will. I mean, all the lows are pretty much the same around here, so forecast. So the next scene is I will be taking these out onto the back patio. Just going to throw my X-Bed Mega Mat right down on the snow on the patio and throw this down. I will wear these in the bag, but I'm not adding any down pants or wool sweater or anything. This is just base layer, socks, cap, and because I don't use the hood, I'm going to be wearing this wool balaclava. Alright, so I'm really excited. I've had a couple of people request field tests on this, and I've been looking forward to this. I knew it was going to get cold tonight a week ago, so I could get up to where it's forecast for 18 below or 17 below. Actually, I think they brought it back up. It's only like 14 below up in the mountains where I normally like to go. It's a 3-hour drive and a couple of mountain passes that are pretty dicey right now. So I'm happy with just staying at home and seeing what this does at 8 below. My guess is it's going to be 10 or 11 below tonight. Let's get out on the back patio in the cold. Okay, so I think I'm ready here. It's really cold out. Okay, so it's 10:30 right now. If you can see in the upper left-hand corner there, right now it's 4 degrees. Or minus 4 degrees. Minus 4.3 degrees right now. Alright, so it's well below zero right now. I'm going to go ahead and take my tennis shoes off and put these down socks on and get into the bag. I got this on for right now. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm going to get that neck collar deployed and turn my light off here. In the morning, we'll go over the metrics and see how cold it got, and we'll see how well the Bristlecone kept me warm. So, good night, everybody. See you in the morning. So guys, I just realized that I got in my sleeping bag with my jacket on, so I'm going to take my jacket off. Okay, I took my jacket off. Okay, now I'm ready to go to bed. I can't believe I had that on. All right, good night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's 5:30 a.m. I gotta get inside before my wife lets the dog out. So, night went good. Get some coffee and we'll talk about how it went. Okay, so that was a really pleasant experience. That is one warm sleeping bag. The low temperature last night was 11 below, 11.0, and it occurred at 1:12 a.m. I was super warm all night. I was not cold at all. I had the neck collar employed, and I don't know what it is, but you know, I've talked about how I use the down balaclavas to keep my head warm at night in the sleeping bag because I don't use the hood, which I explained earlier. So last night I did not wear the down balaclava again, and my face did not get cold, even at 11 below zero Fahrenheit. So I don't know what's going on with me, but apparently my head is superheated these days, and I don't need this. So I ditched this. I mean, you even saw in the video that that it just fell off when I got into the sleeping bag, and then I got all nestled in, and then realized I still had my down jacket on. Anyways, it wasn't a fiasco. It's just I made some extra work for myself that I didn't need to do. I did have the merino wool balaclava on and this cap, and that kept me plenty warm. What I do at night is I just go ahead and roll this down, covering my eyes and most of my nose, and that keeps me plenty warm, and this beard keeps my cheek warm. So what I ended up doing with this, I've shared before that when I get cold, my knees get cold. That's the first part of my body that gets cold. And even though this is a 10.5-inch thick, minus 10 degree bag, there's a lot of dead air space in there. Most of it kind of collapses around me in a bag this thick. But what I did was I had this inside the sleeping bag with me because I didn't want to lose it. You know, it fell off, and I could tell right away that I couldn't handle having this on and be way too warm. So I put it in the sleeping bag with me, and then I was laying there, and I had my right knee over the top, kind of can opener position. I took this and shoved it onto the end of my knee, and that solved my cold knee problem. It was awesome. So I did utilize this to keep my right knee warm as I laid on my left side. Another interesting thing, the footbox section. Now you saw in the video that this is a long bag. It's a 6'6" bag internally, but the outside of the bag is very long. The pad, the Exped Megamat that I'm on, that's a 78-inch pad. It's a 6.5-foot pad, but you can see the last baffles just hanging off the end of the mat there. And also I'm only 5'10.5", so my feet come about 8 inches from the bottom of the bag. So the weather sensor I had down in the foot box, in the middle of the night, it was reading single digits and actually got down to 0.3 degrees Fahrenheit, my weather sensor in the bottom of the foot box. Now, my feet did not get cold at all. Once the night got settled in, you know, like after 11 o'clock, it was reading 9 degrees, 8 degrees. It was just toggling single digits all the way down to 0. So what that tells me is that I got a very inefficient setup here. I was already aware of that, and it doesn't really bother me because weight and space are not really a criteria for me. But being warm and comfortable is, and I am super comfortable in this bag. And because it does so well, it got down to 11 degrees below 0, and I had the neck collar employed, but it wasn't tight. I had it a little bit loose, but it kept the bulk of any cold air from coming down into the bag. But the bag kept me super warm. I was not cold at all. There was no chills. Like I say, I had that balaclava on my right knee, and I was in heaven. One thing I did learn was, I don't know where they are. Oh, they're right behind me. The pillows. Those 2 pillows that I use, I put one inside the other. I washed those after I got back from our 10-day trip, and I couldn't believe how big they were after washing. I don't think they were that big when I got them. the pillow was too much last night. My 8 ounces of down that I say is heaven, the thing was so freaking big that I could barely keep it under my head. So I'm going to have to change up my pillow situation. Forget about needing a balaclava unless it's 20 below. I'm just really kind of surprised that I'm finding that I don't need the down balaclavas like I used to, or like I have in the past in real cold weather. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I already knew this thing would keep me warm at 15 below because I've been there and I've done that. Last night at 11 below, it was nothing for this bag. This is one of my very favorite Western Mountaineering sleeping bags that I own. The only one that's more impressive than this is my Cypress. But I super love this sleeping bag. I'm so glad I bought it. I've shared before that originally I owned the Lynx, the Western Mountaineering Lynx GWS. My son bought that bag for me so that I could buy this one. I just wasn't happy with the Lynx. There's nothing wrong with the bag. That sleeping bag and we didn't get along. So I bought this and I've been super happy with it. And I just want to use it more and more. And yet I want to use my Cypress as well. I really enjoyed doing this field test. I'm glad it got down to 11 below. So I can sit here and say, you know, if you get it overfilled, you're going to be likely really warm at 11 below. I really don't think that I'd be any less warm if my bag didn't have the overfill in it last night, because it's hard to describe, but as I laid there in the ice cold temperatures in this bag, the warmth is insane. I mean, there's so much thickness of down there. But anytime, like, of course I had to get out of the bag and go shut the camera off when I was going to bed. And man, it was cold. I mean, it was really cold. Exposed skin. My hands got cold real quick, and my hands don't get cold. Getting back in the bag and getting it zipped up within just a few seconds, back to comfortable and warm. But it is interesting to note that that sensor way down in the bottom of the foot box, it was hanging off the end of my sleep pad. It got down single digits way down the bottom of that foot box. Yet my feet weren't cold, but I did have on those down socks. But the rest of the bag felt warm. I didn't feel any cold spots like on my backside or in front of me or anything like that. Hopefully you seeing me test this bag in a real world application was helpful. I'm not going to try to dig up the metrics. You're just going to have to trust me. That Kindle is really pissing me off lately. My Kindle hasn't been behaving, and all the metrics are on my phone, which I'm currently using to film this. So bag's rated for 10 below zero. Last night it was 11 below zero. And I was not cold at all. And I felt like I could easily go another 10, 15 degrees colder before I'd start feeling chilled, because it is that warm of a bag. So at first, I had the bag unzipped a little bit. I had the neck collar employed, and the Velcro was attached here. But I had it unzipped a little bit because I was just really warm in this bag. And at that time it was, like 5 below. So if I wanted to take this bag down to 40 below, if I put on my new baffled down pants and a wool sweater and my Eddie Bauer Cirrus Light down jacket and a down balaclava, I could go down to 40 below pretty easily in this bag. In every video in this series, the temperature got lower than the rating of the bag I'm sleeping in. And last night was no exception. It was 1 degree colder than the rating of the bag. But yeah, I had fun. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Yeah. Western Mountaineering Bristlecone rated to minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 23 degrees Celsius. I just tested it out at minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was warm as hell. If you like this little field test that I did of the Western Mountaineering Bristlecone, please click like and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. I'll continue making more field test videos, sleeping bag reviews, gear reviews, as well as taking you camping with me. So until next video, stay safe out there and have fun.